This is way worse than we thought. As ahead of a huge game against the Denver Nuggets, we have multiple updates, including a LeBron update, a Luka update, but also a couple of other updates that have fans fired up. We're going to break all that down in this episode. But before we get into it, folks, if you're part of the 70% or 90%, sorry, who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been absolutely unbelievable. And if you want to help us towards that goal of 20,000 subscribers, the big goal of 20,000, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're also very, very close to 17,000 subscribers. So your guys' support has been unbelievable. And again, we will have a video following tonight's game against the Denver Nuggets. But ladies and gentlemen, speaking of that game, we have a bunch of new updates to go over, and they are not the updates that a lot of fans were hoping for. Now, obviously, heading into this game, the big storyline was the fact that LeBron's out, Jackson Hayes is out, all these guys are out, Hachimura, Maxi Kleber still, of course. But a lot of those guys are heading back, like I covered in the video earlier today, are heading back to LA and are starting to ramp up, specifically guys like LeBron and things like that. And it's starting to look better and better, a better return soon. But ladies and gentlemen, out of nowhere today, we got a shocking report, to say the least, surrounding the injuries. Most importantly, to guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent. But here we go. Luka Doncic is out. Rui Hachimura is out. Jackson Hayes is out. LeBron is out. But Luka Doncic has officially been ruled out of tonight's game. And it is not a great sign for the game this evening. Simply because you're at the point now where not only do you not have a lot of players, you don't have your two star players, but I mean, your only chance in theory to stand a chance tonight was a Luka Doncic masterclass. But we saw in yesterday's game, the Lakers have been playing so many games, and even in a night where Luka Doncic can come out and have a fantastic game, 45 points, almost a triple double, all these different things, this Lakers still lost to the Bucks, right? For a variety of reasons. But now with his left calf injury management and right ankle sprain, he is going to be out. Now, I think this is the right call. We'll dive into that in a minute here. But something else that's shocking, Dorian Finney-Smith is out and Gabe Vincent are doubtful, sorry. So both Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent are doubtful. With Trey Jemison, your only backup center, also questionable. So, I mean, tonight we're going to be, Austin Reaves is going to play. Vando's going to play. Other than that, it's pretty up in the air. Dalton Knecht masterclass game tonight, probably. But Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent are doubtful. Now, I think what they're doing here is really trying to just make sure everybody is healthy for next week, because they have multiple back-to-backs. You can't be picky. The Nuggets are an extremely good team, so it's going to be tough to actually, if you want to rest guys, you're probably better off doing it in a game like tonight. Now, again, if you missed the video earlier, LeBron, Rui, both of those guys now are day-to-day, are probably going to come back some point next week. They have 3 back-to-backs, or he has 2 left now after tonight over the next week or two, which we'll dive into the schedule in a bit. The schedule was absolutely brutal. The NBA screwed the Lakers in that regard, especially given the fact that now, of course, the NBA couldn't predict this, but the Lakers are dealing with so many injuries. You can see this here from Coach Rome. Austin shouldn't play this game. Rather let him rest if everyone else is. We're clearly punting this one away. Now, I don't think resting Austin Reaves would be great. He's just coming off of an injury, and he's finally starting to get back into, he's coming off a pretty good game. His first, great game and first good game since returning from his injury. So I think keeping him out there, letting him, continue to develop and not develop, but establish his game again since his injury and really starting to get back in the flow of things is going to do more good than bad. And regarding, punting this one away, it seems that the Lakers are saying, hey, listen, we have a ton of back-to-backs coming up. It's going to be tough to maintain that 2 seed anyway. There was a while, like a little brief period there we'll dive into a little bit later. But you can also see this here from Trevor Lane. This is IMO, the right decision due to their 6 games and 8 nights with 3 sets of back-to-back stretch. 1 month till the playoffs. Can't burn guys out on a second night of a back-to-back on the road. And that's a good point, too. Like, if you're going up against a team like the Hornets, for example, even though the Lakers lost to them before the All-Star break, regardless of that, right? If you're going up against a really bad team, it might make some more sense to maybe play a guy like Luka Doncic, because you have a good chance of winning, especially if you have one of those guys. But you're going up against the Nuggets, where if you win, it's going to be because of fantastic scheming by JJ Redick. But ultimately, like, you look at this lineup right now and this roster, Reaves is going to be playing. Doncic is out. Rui's out. LeBron is out. Hayes is out. All these different guys are out. And it is going to be, and again, this is that's the old depth chart. But regardless, right, just looking at it from there, you're going to be in a very rough spot with Jackson Hayes out, all these different players. Your starting lineup is going to consist of Austin Reaves, Dalton Knecht, from there, like Jordan Goodwin, Alex Len, Jared Vanderbilt, like something like that. And you're at a point now where you have so many injuries to this lineup, it's going to be rough. And again, LeBron, we're going to have a full injury status update next week, but I covered it in the video earlier, so check that one out after this one if you haven't already. LeBron is going to be hopefully back at some point next week, along with Rui Hachimura as well. And if you get both of those guys back, and then Luka Doncic takes this time to rest, really get back into, take a little bit, because he's been playing a ton of games for the Lakers. He's missed very minimal games due to injury, and now he's added to that, right? He's been dealing with more injuries. And as it pertains to Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, just getting them fully healthy. They've been playing a ton. It would have been nice to have Dorian Finney-Smith or Gabe Vincent, but we know Dorian missed a game with his left ankle injury a few games ago. Getting him back in there after a brutal game against the Bucks where he was getting battered, he was getting thrown around by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, you're at the point now where if you're going up against Giannis, the day after, he's obviously bruised a little bit. It's going to be a very rough game regardless. So keeping the boys out is probably the right call. And speaking of keeping the boys out, you look at the schedule coming up here. Again, today you have the Nuggets, and then on Sunday you have the Phoenix Suns. You have another back-to-back, San Antonio, Denver again, and then you have another back-to-back on Sunday, Monday. It is just an absurd schedule, one that is wild. And then you have another back-to-back late April or mid-April, April 12th and April 13th. Like, the amount of back-to-backs, 4 back-to-backs, it is absurd. At the end of the day, it's at the point where, I mean, this is just an absurd schedule, like something that you rarely see. I don't know if we've ever seen it before. I'm sure, at some point there's been schedules like this, but for the Lakers to have to deal with this alongside the injuries, it really goes to show how, rough they are as it pertains to, dealing with injuries in the standings. Because again, as of this moment, as of the time of recording, which is before tonight's game against the Nuggets, you're at a point now where you are in the 4th seed, but virtually tied with the 5th seed. I mean, you're technically ahead of them in win percentage. Houston has 1 win more, but one loss more. So they have 1 more win, but 1 more loss. So depending on how the Lakers do, we'll see how that goes. The Golden State Warriors, since getting Jimmy Butler, have been on fire. They're now 10 games above 500. Like, that 7 seed, which is a play-in spot, is not that far out of realm of possibility for the Lakers. And I think at this point, they're trying to manage both, right? They're trying to get their players in as much as they can, but they're also trying to rest them as much as they can. And I think it's at the point now where not only are you going to be able to hopefully manage these guys tonight. And let's say you're punting tonight's game, right? You punt tonight's game. You then look forward to the next game against Phoenix. You win that one. And then hopefully maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday on one of them, maybe the first game or the second half of back-to-back, you get LeBron or you get Rui Hachimura back. And then you can start to develop some chemistry as you get a bit of an easier stretch of games: Chicago, Orlando, Indiana, Chicago. And then by the time you play Memphis and Houston, you have some really, big games coming up there too. Teams that are right in the thick of it. It's going to be a very, very interesting next few weeks and next few games. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. A couple other things before we wrap up. Luka Doncic was asked how he's liking LA so far. He said, good, I think good. As I always say, things are getting better every day. I like to see, so I enjoy quite a bit, as well. I'm adapting pretty well. So it's great to see that from Luka Doncic, that he's going to hopefully be here for years to come. We'll have another video coming out on that soon. But ladies and gentlemen, a brutal injury report I had to cover for you all. We will have a video following tonight's game, win or loss. It's going to be an interesting one. Maybe, just maybe, it could be the Dalton Knecht game and Austin Reaves game where they shine and take care of business against the Nuggets. But I'm very curious to see, most importantly, what JJ Redick has in store against this team, because last time he schemed fantastically against the Nuggets, and now tonight against the Nuggets, it might be a little bit harder to do. But that'll wrap it up. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Cheers.